North Paulding ended last year on an absolute tear before the shutdown, taking 12 of 13 with 7 starters back and 11 returning pitchers. The Wolfpack is ready to make some noise again as the number 2 team in the PBR Georgia Power 25. Cory McCartney along with PBR Georgia Scouting Director Phil Kerber, and we're joined by the Wolfpack coach, Dennis Jordan. Coach, happy to have you in.
Hey, great to be here. I appreciate it. We're really excited.
Coach, thanks. I wanted to start off by talking a little bit about last season. Like you said, you guys were on absolute tear. You had some really quality wins over Houston County, Buford, DeSoto Central. I mean, just some really solid teams, and you guys were just seemed like carrying a ton of momentum. What was it like when you got the news that everything was being shut down? And then how do you take that momentum from last year and carry it into this year?
Well, it was a really exciting time for us. Fortunately for us, we had some success in the previous years, and you just try to build every year in your program every year and try to do just a little bit more to challenge your kids to represent what they've done. And fortunately for us, they've done that. Last year was really fun. I mean, the kids really did a great job, and you got to have a little bit of everything, as y'all well know, when you go into situations and playing people that we play and try to play. You have to be lucky. You have to have a lot of 2-out hitting. You have to have good pitching. You got to play defense. And fortunately for us, the kids did that with a lot of energy. And our seniors last year that we had, losing them is going to hurt. Even though fortunately we have a lot of guys coming back. It's a new team. It's not the same team as it was last year. And we've tried to do some things to create that team atmosphere this year that will enable us to take it maybe just a little bit further. We've always been hung up at that Elite 8 status. We couldn't get past Mill Creek a couple of times. And, even though we could compete, we just weren't able to take that next step. And fortunately for us, we tried, to add a little bit of Timmy Corbin's philosophy into our program. We've added book study, and that's been really great for us to bring some cohesion to our kids this year. We've came in with the same mindset of now is going to be your legacy? What is this team going to leave? And unfortunately for the team last year, we got cut off early, and their legacy was cut off. And hopefully, and with the way we're going and where we're going right now, that won't happen again if we're blessed enough to get through it.
Coach, certainly you have a deep offensive team. So instead of asking you to pinpoint that bat that really makes everything go for you, I'd be interested in knowing the guy that kind of holds everything together. So who's maybe the glue of your team and the guy that sets the emotional tone?
Well, there's no doubt. In our book study, we question the values that they have, the qualities they have, and the qualities that they understand they have, and the bad qualities that they have. And there's no doubt. There's one guy who controls this team, and that's Mitchell Hurt. Very emotional guy, comes every day with energy, comes every day to play, does not like to fail. And even to the point where he understands and realizes through our book study that he has came out and said that sometimes his emotions can be his worst enemy. And, in this game, it can very easily be. But he's done a great job this spring coming back and being our leader. He's a leader on the mound. He's a leader defensively when he plays shortstop. And right now, all through our inner squads, which are about 7, he's hitting about 666.
Jeez.
So, he's done a great job for us and really played really well.
Coach, I think I was in attendance for about 9 of your 15 games. It seemed like every time I showed up to Lake Point, you guys were there, or down at the LaGrange tournament. So I got a firsthand look at that pitching staff. And what was it like seeing Jake Hembree as a freshman come in, go 5-0 with, I think, a 1.4 ERA? And he wasn't pitching against lower competition. In Houston County, he was dealt against. Like, what do you expect from him this year and even through his 4-year career?
Well, from years to years, especially Jake being a freshman, Jake's put on 25 pounds, and he's put on 25 pounds of muscle. He is much bigger, stronger, and thicker than he was last year. So that can, even though it's good, can create some challenges especially for a guy who throws well, who controls the zone, and mixes his pitches really well. The body he has is not the same, and the strength he has is not the same, but his willingness to compete is. And he's done a good job this spring. He's went through a little ups and downs at times with his mechanical aspects due to the change in his body. But there's no doubt he throws 3 pitches for strikes, just like you've seen him do. And he's added cutter to his, to what he has and his capabilities, what he can do on the mound. And it's just a joy to see some of these guys just to go out there and compete on the mound. And they have good stuff, which you don't see all the time. A lot of times you see one guy who will go out there, has good fastball command, throw the breaking pitch at times for strikes. But when you can throw 3 or 4 for strikes at about any time, which he could do with that breaking pitch, and then offset the breaking pitch with a changeup, it's always good to see. And fortunately for us, Mitchell's the same way. Dylan Raydans is the same way. Jake, being a freshman, was a surprise to all of us. Well, maybe, but we knew his MO coming in. And we knew that he was going to be there for us. And that's why from day one, he was our number 2, number 3 starter from day one. It was never a fact that we threw him out there pretty early. So,
Coach, a pair of intriguing newcomers, Charlie Siegel, Hunter Sanders. What can we expect to see from them as they become key contributors for your team this season?
Charlie's a whole different guy. It's crazy. I mean, Charlie's been pitching for 2.5 months. That's it. And he was one of our catchers last year and a hitter for us. He was caught and played first base and came into the summer where he jumped on the mound a couple of times and really had success. He really did. He's 3-pitch guy. He's 87, 88 guy, which is totally different than when we left last spring and expecting what Charlie Siegel was going to be doing for us this fall and spring. So he's really jumped a little bit, which has added an addition to us. And last year, we had just, made some adjustments to our roster going into the region schedule where we brought Hunter Sanders up at that time, where he's a strike throwing machine with 3 pitches also. Now, his velo is not 88, 90, 90, 91 guy, but he throws the ball around the zone with 3 pitches and competes down in the zone and works to get ground balls. So they're going to play a major part in what we do. And fortunately for us, when you've got as many guys that can throw the ball across the plate right now as we do, if something happens with COVID, then fortunately it don't hammer them all at one time. And, we kind of playing it by ear and trying to take every, precaution we can to try to stay healthy. But fortunately for us, we've played enough already that we've got enough innings in already. We've pretty much seen how they can compete.
Coach, I wanted to take a step back and look at the bigger picture. Who are you keeping an eye on in your region and in the class itself?
Well, it's relatively the same people year in and year out. We made a change in our region, which you bring in Walton, a former state champion. You bring in Harrison, a former state champion. You bring in Hillgrove from runner-up status a couple years ago. And us, and now you still got North Cobb, you got Marietta, who both are very challengeable programs. It is what it is. Sometimes as a coach where I'm at right now, I'd rather go out and play those guys than have a schedule where, you're just waltzing through everybody and then get towards the end and it's, oh my gosh, So we kind of tighten the ship pretty early with the people we play. We jump into it pretty heavy, trying to find out where we're at and the changes that we need to make early. So when we get in our tough region that we're in, which is very, very tough every day, then we have a little bit more ability to compete. And y'all know as well as I do, that's the number one thing is the challenge to these kids is trying to get them to compete today. So,
Coach, the Wolfpack, without question, a team to watch in 2021. Wishing you and them nothing but good luck in the upcoming season.
we appreciate it. Thanks so much for having us, and good luck to y'all also.